Well, we've seen Jennifer, we've seen Catherine, now we see Kimberley. Kimberley Willis against Leah Musson as it's BC against Saskatchewan, and it will be Kimberley Willis to get us going as we begin play in this first preliminary for $50 a frame.
Evergreen Lanes in Nanaimo, owned by her mom and dad.
Nice start. Wouldn't that be something? All three Willis sisters into the Final Four.
You're right, but we've got three people that are going to have something to say about that. One of them being Leah, who bowls at Glencairn Bowl in Regina. And look at this. Carry over already with 3 strikes in a row. Or 2. Each of them haven't. They hope to get 3 strikes in a row. I'm not rushing this frame at all.
There's no way you could save that. 3 doesn't make sense anywhere.
Doesn't matter.
There wasn't 3. We've only seen 2. You couldn't save that at all.
No, sir.
So we're playing for $100 here in the second.
I was actually thinking about the 3 sisters.
Oh, was that what it was?
That's what it was. Watch the nice release here. Both of them being here before. Actually, good hit.
Leaves up the 4. Interesting to watch her eyes where she spots. Some will look, seems to me anyway, a little farther down the lane. She sort of picks her spot up almost just across the foul line.
Well, when that happens, when that does get into play, what it'll do is it'll get them their ball rolling a little bit quicker down on the lane, particularly if there's a lot of oil. They get out there right away and they want it to skid a little bit. So you'll see that, and you'll see the good players deviate a little bit. They'll go from the foul line, they'll go up to the dots about 3-4 feet out, then they'll also do it about 16 feet out where all the arrows are.
Kimberley Willis with a chance if she can strike here. No, she'll leave the 10. Another left-hander. My goodness. But she needs that 10 now for the spare to force a carryover.
You see a fair amount of left-handers, particularly for some reason in the women's division, more and more left-handers, but it's quite a debate whether the left-hand side always gives you a little bit of an edge, but you've got to have the talent as this lady has, and she has certainly got the talent, having bowled a 300 game.
The third of the Willis sisters, this is Kimberley. Her 2 sisters, Jennifer and Catherine, are already into the Final Four. She goes against Leah Musson, making her 4th appearance at the Pins game.
Now, how much pressure is this going to put on her to know that her 2 sisters are sitting in the audience and they have already advanced? Do you think it makes a difference?
No. Nope, nope, nope. Not at the level they play at, I don't think, right? Do you think so? I mean,
only for bragging rights.
Jennifer on the left, our first qualifier. Catherine, both former champions. Jennifer, the defending champion. Leah Musson last year won $2,100 as she got to the semifinals. Now she needs that for the spare as we play for $50 a frame, and we've carried over the first 2, so this 3rd frame worth $150.
Interesting to hear her thoughts. She doesn't want to trip. She wants to relax and concentrate, and she doesn't really want to think about what's going on around her, and I think that's a good comment to sort of be able to block that out.
And she has the spare, so we're dead even through 3, and now playing for $200.
Watch how she gets to the line and follows through all the way, no doubt whatsoever. Wipes off the bowling ball, gets the oil off of it. You can see the track, see the light reflection there shows you the oil on the ball. That's the ring of the oil that's on the lane, and that's what your ball is rolling on, is oil. If you rolled on the wood, we would destroy the lane. She almost destroyed that pin, but didn't knock it over. The 10 pin remains standing. Seven games a week she practices, and it shows because she's got 184 average in Regina, used to be a 5-step bowler. I was going to ask her, and we might get a chance later, why she switched from 5 to 4, because she's bowling quite well now.
Hang it? No. And what an opening now for Kimberley Willis. The open, the 9 count, and Willis has 2 chances to pick up the 4 frames and $200.
And this lady thrives on this kind of a possibility.
There you go. And that's $200 for Kimberley Willis.
This is smooth, smooth, smooth. Look at that. Nicely balanced all the way through. All the drive, the ball hits the pocket. The ball just carries on right back. And as the drive still going into the pit.
There we go, back to back, and she's taken control here against Leah Musson.
Watch Leah, she pulls the ball back here and then pushes it out. Nice and easy swinging it. Now that bit of a tough break on that because she came in a little bit high, and unfortunately the 4-7-10. And it's such a difference because watch this here as she goes through it. She just slips a little. Look at here. Right at the deal. You see her foot came off the approach. The 10-pin danced. All the romance she wanted, but didn't go down. Didn't get the finish.
So back-to-back opens. 8 count here in 5. And another frame. And another $50 to Kimberley Willis. So we're in that situation again, and we've seen it before in previous weeks of women's play where Leah Musson must win every frame to even the money, and then she has to bring her pin count up to hopefully win it on that. Stubborn 9 stays at the back.
Now watch the eyes as we're going through this approach. Watch her eyes. Her eyes move up and down. It's a little unusual, and then she's not quite as smooth and relaxed. The one thing she could do that would make it quite a bit different would be bend your knee a little bit more. That gives you the consistency. Watch her eyes. She's looking down there, looks at the foul line, looks up, looks down again, and misses it. And you know you can tell just by the expression there that she missed it, and she's just literally handing this thing over. You really have to be careful when you're doing what she is with her eyes. Once you get into motion, keep your eyes on the target and forget everything else. Don't keep flipping up and down.
To advance, and she does it. Boy. So she's got a triple going. Kimberley Willis picks up the frame, the $50 with it, and she has very quickly clinched a spot in the quarters.
Watch the knee bend, and there's the difference between the two girls and how they're bowling today. The knee bend gets the power on the bowling ball. Now she'll relax. Look how far out her index finger is. Seems contrast here where one bowler kept the index finger under. She gets it out higher and splashes the pins. Splashed them all right. She's at 119 in the 5th with 4 in a row.
Big smile from Kimberley to her sisters who are sitting not far away and watching. Leah Musson now needs a strike to force a carryover, still looking for her first money. And she's just not on today.
When it goes bad, it goes bad in a real hurry. Actually, she's a hard-working lady. She is a bookkeeper. She's a waitress at Brewster's Brewing and Restaurant. And has 2 children, so I'm sure that she has lots of things going. There they are. How about that? They're watching. A little disappointing for them at this stage of the game, but we've still got time. 93 in the 7th. Tough break when you're up there like that because she's been here before. She's had $2,800 in money to date, and so far 0 today, but let's see what happens with it. Inside, but she carried the pins. it's exasperating to be standing up there like that, because you'll roll a good ball and then you'll bowl something like that and get away with it. This lady has got away with 4 strikes in a row and is loose as you want. Watch what happens. Knee bends there, and again, lots of carry. 9 pins go down, the 8 pin left standing. The youngest of the Willis family. Now look at the colors on this ball. Watch this now. Is she going for a single pin? Oh. 17 miles an hour on that bowling ball. Speeds up a little bit for her corner, or at least her spare shots.
Well, Liz Leah has her first $50.
There's the difference, 16 points, 16 miles an hour. And those of you that are mathematicians can work that backwards or upwards, or I'd like to do it in English, because against whatever the metric is. Let's see what happens here. She makes the spare shot. Nice.
She does, and so she's marked in every frame so far through 9.
186 in the 8th. Beautiful score. 236 potential. Now, again, Leah has a chance here. If she gets a strike, she can pick up a few more dollars to take home.
And she does.
What were we saying earlier in the series about, like in golf, you'll get the 18th hole and you'll have 1 good shot, and you'll do the same thing in bowling. 2 strikes in a row here will keep her coming back.
Sure, but you must go away shaking your head if you're Leah Musson, saying, why couldn't I have found that range earlier?
Well, that's right, and you know, she's made the move now, the adjustment, and it showed. I mean, that was a good ball, just as good. She's got 29 points right up there. She just jumped up a big count, 2 strikes in a row and a 9 count. In fact, she had, you know, a good game going right at the start. Strike, 2 spares, and then lost it a little bit, and that's all it takes. 4 frames in a row she had opens. Single pin remaining.
Go.
I'll tell you what, she almost left it remaining. .142, 162 is the maximum she can get. Watch this. You can see the expression. See how short she is with her follow through, and the ball just barely got over there.
Mm-hmm.
Watch the eyes down here. Releases the ball, gets it out better.
Gives it a little tap with his 10 will stay. Counts 19 in the 10th and bowls a 161.
Now watch the difference as she releases her ball. You'll see that ball go straight up and out, and then she falls it in. There's the scoreboard. Look at this.
Crossed over. Leaves the 2 and the 7.
Watch this. Now, she doesn't stop. She just keeps coming right through. Look at that. Right over top of the head. The difference is that she gets the carryover and she gets the split. She gets over everything moving, but it breaks everything up a lot for her. Leah wins the frame.
She wins the frame and the $50, so she closes out. Well, she wins 150, but it's Kimberley Willis who bowls a 213. And so she's on now to the quarterfinals, and we could see 3 Willis sisters in the Final Four.